Welcome back, everybody. Today we're doing something a little bit different, playing a little bit of Magic the Gathering. Now, if you're not familiar with Magic the Gathering, I'm afraid you're going to have to report to your nearest nerd office location near you and turn in your nerd badge because clearly it was sent to you in error, as every self-respecting nerd should know about Magic the Gathering. But nevertheless, if you do not, it is the great old one of trading card games, the one that started it all, the one that kicked off everything. So I used to be into Magic quite a bit, but haven't been keeping up with it so much over the last few years. However, when Vintage Cube rolls around on Magic the Gathering Online, I like to jump in and play at least a few rounds of Vintage Cube Draft. As to me, that's the most fun, enjoyable way to play Magic. Now, if you're not familiar, it is unfortunately not a very good jumping in point, as it is also one of the more complex ways to play Magic. It involves a lot of esoteric cards, a lot of strange interactions. So, if you're new to Magic, maybe not the best place to go, but if you, like me, know a bit about it and love some Vintage Cube, then come right on in. The only other thing to mention is that in Magic the Gathering Online, we are playing against real live human beings on the other side, so if you leave any comments or anything, please try to be respectful. You can, of course, bash on me as much as you'd like, but if you make any comments on our opponent's play, then please stay respectful, and I will, of course, endeavor to do the same. So, without further ado, let us jump into a queue here and get started. All right, just pause the recording for a minute there while we were getting ready for our queue to fill up, but here we are, ready to go. Let me just position, and this can maybe sit, yeah, around here is fine for this draft portion. We'll see where the camera needs to be for the gameplay now. So our first pick, there's a couple of cards I like here. I'm a big fan of Steam Vents, dual lands in general, tend to be strong in cube. Factor Fiction's a really strong card advantage card that even gets around some of the card draw restrictions that are in play. Counterspell, of course, old reliable, lets you deal with things. And in case it's not apparently obvious, I do prefer playing more of the control and combo decks rather than something like aggressive red deck. I don't think there's anything great here for an aggro deck either. I'm going to start with Factor Fiction. I think I often find myself in these cubes a little short on card advantage engines. This is a pretty darn good one, so let's start there. Let me also see, that's the table. I want to, yeah, see my sideboard here just for my own clarity. All right. Library of Alexandria, another strong card advantage card, though I think slightly overrated. This card I have not seen before. What is this? Bergy, God of Storytelling. Whenever you cast a spell, add a red until your turn. Your mana's empty. Creatures you control can boast twice. Okay, discard a card. Exile top two cards of your library. You may play those cards this turn. Okay. Not 100% sure how if you can just play this on the backside or if there's some mechanic to flipping it, but I don't think that's our pick here. I'm between Library, Grim Monolith, and Dimir Signet, I think. Honorable mention to him to Turok. That card can mess some things up. Given that we picked Fact, I'm not going to worry about Library too much. I'm going to take Grim Monolith here and see if we can fire up some deck that does some big things. Alright, Blightsteel Colossus is perhaps slightly too big. Usually you're not looking to hardcast this guy, but maybe sneak him in or something. Splinter Twin? Third pick Splinter Twin is definitely a sign that it might be open, and it's a powerful deck. We're sort of in the right setup for it. I think I'd rather have a Steamens than a Factor Fiction if I'm playing a Splinter Twin deck. Often the mana requirements in there, especially if you get Kiki Jiki himself, tend to be rather steep, but that said, it is a good card. And I don't see anything else in here that strikes me as especially strong. The Phyrexian Revoker is a card that is a good role player, and I'll often put this card in my deck. You can generally nab something, but beyond that, there's really not much for us here. So I'll take the Splinter Twin and see if we can't go down that route. Okay, there's another one of these gods. Let's read him. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may exile it. If you do, it gains whenever a land enters the battlefield. If it's exiled, put a voyage counter on it. If you don't, return it with a plus counter and draw X cards. Okay. And a vehicle, when you may exile that many cards. You may play. Okay, so this does stuff with land drops. Seems interesting, but Kiki's here, so I'm saved the work of trying to figure out if this card is good or not by just picking up Kiki here and having both Splinter Twin and Kiki. We're definitely in a lane at that point. Makes our decisions a little bit easier. And other than possibly this guy, who again, I'm not sure, I've not seen this card. I'm not familiar with the new sets very much. Braid is like the only other honorable mention to me, so. Okay, this pack a little weak for us. We could take a Thirst for Knowledge as just a good way to try and dig and assemble the combo. Badlands might be the pick as well. It's not the duel we want exactly. We're not likely to be splashing black in the deck, but fetch lands can, like if we pick up a blue-black fetch, for example, then it can get us both red and blue in that way. So I think that's better than Thirst, which is like pretty low end on card draw. I'm sorry, there's something strange happening outside. All right. I don't know if you guys can hear that noise. If you do, I apologize, but I'll take Badlands here as just a speculative land pick. Okay, we got Seasoned Pyromancer, which can help buy us some time and also help us dig through the deck a little bit, discarding things we don't need in order to find our combo. Which, of course, we do need an actual card that can go and get multiplied by either Kiki or Splinter Twin here, which we don't have yet, but we got some time to find those. Flame Slash, solid removal, definitely like it, but it's pretty easily replaceable. So I think I take the Pyromancer here. Maybe actually Recruiter the Guard's interesting too. It can go pick up Kiki. And white is something you often splash in these decks because Restoration Angel's a good combo. So this is speculative as well. I'm going to put it in the sideboard for now, but none of the other cards are that appealing there. Okay, Amiria's Call, we get Angels or a White Land. Not too excited about that one. Rabble Master is a very powerful card. This is not really the deck for it, but we could still be sort of a tempo-y deck that just has a twin finish. The other option is Sundering Titan. We're not particularly well set up for it at the moment, though, you know, one tinker and you're kind of in business. But I think I'll take the Rabble Master. It's just a really solid card. Okay, here's an Emery as well. Perhaps we should have been going down some sort of artifact route. It seems like some of the cards are open for that, but not really getting there. I'll take the Inspiring Vantage here again. White is a common splash in these kind of Kiki decks, and really not getting much blue anyway. We might end up being more red-white with just blue for win conditions and, you know, a Fact or Fiction or something like that. Okay, Avalanche Riders, another fine disruptive element. Or we can take a Lightning Strike, helps us deal with some early threats. It can also hit Planeswalkers, which is often relevant. Don't think I'm interested in Concealed Courtyard. So yeah, it's really between the two red cards here. And Avalanche Riders, you know, it's cute with Kiki, of course, but that's like a pretty mana-intense combo. So I'm just going to take a Lightning Strike. It just helps us deal with some stuff. Wear and Tear, also excellent. Artifacts are particularly powerful in this cube, so that's something we like. This is just, yeah, way too much mana, I think, for what we want. So I'll take the Wear and Tear here, and I'm going to start separating my cards out a little bit. I like to sort of put my my curve cards over here in the curve they're in, and then my sort of interaction or other cards over here. Hellrider, I mean, we could lean a little aggressive. We have a Rabble Master, we have a Burn Spell. I don't think this is the direction the deck's going, but I'll pick it up anyway, just because there's so few options. So we got our 2 or 3. The Splinter Twin's not really like a curve card, neither is Kiki exactly. So these are really the only 2 cards we're playing on curve right now. Get this Hellrider in the sideboard for the time being. Ooh, Daretti, you know, it is a really powerful effect. We have the Badlands. I said we wouldn't splash black, but maybe. Maybe we do for Daretti. I think the card's quite good. Midnight Reaper versus Rinmare. Neither of these seem particularly good. I'll take the Wingmare if we face off against a Storm deck or something. It's a powerful effect. Okay, the Seasoned Pyromancer wheeling is actually excellent. I'm really happy to pick that up. And Rampage, probably not making the deck, but possible, possible. So we're definitely heavily invested into red. Ooh, okay, that's a nice pack to open. Holy moly. We could also, you know, we could be white, we could be blue, we could be black. There's a number of options we have here. We are, of course, looking for something to combo with the Kiki and Splinter Twin. But in the meantime, we open a Mox Pearl, a Time Walk, and a Soul Ring. All really fantastic cards. Of course, honorable mentions to Chandra, Jace, Oko. Really just a very, very strong pack. So we have to decide between the effectively three pieces of power. Soul Ring's pretty much power. And this is sort of the generically most good one. I do like Moxen in general, but it's not like we have a lot of 2-drops to be powering out with it. So I think Soul Ring is going to be better. Time Walk, of course, strong card, but usually better in the deck where you have, things that give you advantage, like a lot of Planeswalkers or creatures with nice abilities, something like that. Here we're looking to just get powered up, I think. So, I mean, I don't think I have to justify Soul Ring too heavily to anyone. It's obviously an insanely strong pick. All right. Here, opposition's actually kind of interesting. We have Rabblemaster, which is a solid combo with it. Ready, if we can get in there, is a good combo. Seasoned Pyromancer gives us lots of little dudes. Hellrider, not as much of one. Recruiter of the Guard, if we can splash it, is good. Versus Izzet Signet, which just fixes our mana and helps us get where we need to get going. So this is definitely the discipline pick, I think, and I'm leaning towards it. Opposition could be a lot of fun, but we only have like the 3 good combos with it. The rest of our deck could end up being pretty spell heavy still, so I'm not gonna commit to this. And it does sometimes wheel. I think people underestimate opposition, or maybe just think they don't have the right deck for it too often. I'm not sure, but okay. Well, on the topic of fixing, I'll take the Fumarole again. We're really lacking in blue cards at the moment, but I suspect we'll find some. At the very least, the pieces that combo are going to be blue, so I'm interested in the Fumarole, and nothing else too exciting here anyway. The signets are kind of off color. We could take an Orzhov signet for like the weird double splash, but I don't think I'm interested in that. Don't think it's a great Confidant deck. The Seachrome Coast is just worse fixing, so we'll take this. Okay, Click is a good blue card. I'm happy to pick up another curve thing. Doesn't work very well with Soul Ring, that's fine. Izzet Signet actually also works really well with Soul Ring, it's worth mentioning. There's a Blood Crypt, we already have a Badlands, though. Would really like to see a fetch land of some sort. That would go a long way here, but for now we'll take the Click. Okay, so Time Warp's, a much worse version of Time Walk, but still a pretty good one. Golden Goblin Welder, I don't think is something this deck's particularly interested in. Position Agent is a really strange card that I'm not sure what you're supposed to do with, and we're not looking to be too heavy on black in any case, so I think this is just a Time Warp. It's not like an amazing Time Warp deck, but the card's fine. Okay, there's the Pestermite, obviously have to take that. So that's exactly what we'll be doing. So now our combo's online. We would maybe like Recruiter in the Guard to get in there if we can to try and fetch some of these pieces out. Though our mana requirements are pretty rough right now, we probably won't be able to play both white and black in the deck unless we pick up quite a bit more fixing. So this Grim Monolith pick not really paying off. We don't have big mana things we're doing. It can maybe help us cast a Time Warp a little bit ahead of schedule, but it's not so exciting. Yeah, beyond that, we have a little interaction. We could use a little more, of course. Okay, what do we have here? Geist is fine if we're trying to lean in more into the tempo thing. Oh, but there's a Deceiver Exarch, so I'm gonna pick that one up. Darkslick Shores would have been good as well. Gruul Signet, half on color, not the best, but something. Incinerate's solid. But yeah, we'll just pick up all the key pieces and hope to yeah, basically at this point, our hope is to find some tutors or some card draw just to get the combo together. Maybe some counter spells to protect it, and beyond that, ways to buy ourselves some time, like more cheap removal would be good. This particular pack doesn't accomplish any of those things especially well. I could take a Sword of Body in mind. We have enough creatures to carry it, and if we play against exactly a blue-green deck, it's pretty good, so... Not a huge fan of the swords in general. I think they're a little bit slow, but in the right matchup, it's definitely powerful. Love a Baleful Strix, but I don't think I'm quite ready to splash for it, so we'll probably just take Chandra here. It does run the risk of sometimes exiling a combo piece, which is dangerous, but overall, it's good. It ramps up our mana, fixes for red a little bit. Well, fixes for Kiki specifically. Golos also solid, but I think I like the Chandra better here. Okay, we got a Taiga. Needle Spires. Needle Spires is fine. We're starting to get a few too many tap lands at that point, but I think I'm okay with one more over the Taiga, which doesn't really do anything. And Mother of Runes, not the worst here. We have some creatures worth protecting for sure, but I'd rather make sure we can splash the white before picking up more white cards. I'll take a Char, though I don't see main decking it. Okay, and I have to decide between Bolt and Glorybringer, and I think Glorybringer's a really good card, but based on what I said earlier, again, this is more like a finisher mid-range threat. I'm looking for ways to stall the game out to allow us to get to our combo. Lover of Schadenport, but it's really going to be hard to get that going with all the mana requirements we're going to have. I'll still take it, I think, just because the other cards are bad. Questing Beast is annoying. Let's steal it. Alright. So we got rewarded in that we picked up the combo pieces we need for Kiki. So now it's just a matter of making sure our mana works, making sure we have a bit of card draw, and making sure we have a bit of protection, which I think Force of Will do nicely for. We don't have that many blue cards. I'm hoping to pick a few more up, though. And just having free protection on your combo is extremely powerful, and people are doing crazy stuff in this cube all the time as well. Oh, this is I've heard about this Tibble, but I haven't actually seen it in action here. Reveal their hand, you exile some creatures, it's a 2-drop. Oh boy. Okay, this looks complicated, and I don't really have time to read it all. The Bloodstained Mire would also be quite good, I think. Well, it's actually fixed all that well, so anyway, I'll take the Force of Will, and hope to pick up a few more blue cards. Maybe we wield the Mire, I don't quite know. Okay, is Spellseeker any good in this deck? An instant with converted mana cost 2 or less, so we can pick up our burn spells. It's not very exciting. That said, is any of this good? I could take Colonnade for another tap land that fixes. Colonnade is a cut above the rest, I think. It's a really powerful land if you get that stage in the game. Yeah, I don't think Spellseeker's it. We don't have too many targets for it that do anything. So let's just take the Colonnade. Our mana's going to be a little bit slow, but at least it'll be fixed pretty nicely. Okay, if it was earlier in the draft, I'd be very excited about Mana Vault. It can really accelerate you to something strong. But I think here, Muldrifter is what we're looking for. It can be card draw. We can discard it to Force of Will. All good things. Tropical Island, not really on the menu. How are we doing right now? We have 25 cards with 5 lands. We need a few more playables. Okay, I don't think we're doing Niv-Mizzet stuff, so I could take Firebolt, a 3rd burn spell, maybe one too many. Pia and Kiran Nalaar would have been good if we picked up that opposition, as is. They're just mediocre. They do clog up the game a bit, so that part's good. But I think I might just take even more fixing. This is another tap land, but it's not one that always comes into play tapped, so I'm a little more okay with it. And I think Mana's just going to be rough. Firebolt's just very replaceable, as is Pia and Kiran, I think. Okay, Arid Mesa, another solid card here. Birthing Pod, don't think we can quite get there on Birthing Pod. If we had a couple of 4-drops, it would actually be pretty interesting, but I don't think that's the way it's gonna go out. Path to Exile, solid removal we could pick up as well. Faithless Looting, card disadvantage, but it does dig you pretty deep. But I think I just take the Mesa here. Let's see, you can pick up... I guess it doesn't even pick up that much. We didn't get any dual lands that work with it, so it's literally just a Plains Mountain. Maybe that's not that exciting. I'll still take it. I'm not quite sure, though. That's a close pick for me. Ooh, Nahiri's interesting. It digs you, it removes stuff. I like all these things. Good old Krark here, flipping coins, and Burst Lightning, another just generic removal spell. We'll try to pick one more of these up. Like, we have the Char in the sideboard if we really need to go that far. Commit to Memory, also solid, but yeah, I'll take a Nahiri. Let's see. Ooh, Fire Ice. There we go. That's the interaction I'm looking for. It's a solid burn spell if we need it, and we can cycle it off against decks that don't care about that sort of thing. It's certainly better than Gush. We don't have any way to like break Gush. So Fire Ice is perfect. Let's pick it up. Let's see. Don't hate Daredevil. Containment Priest would be a solid sideboard card as well. Helix, probably don't want white in our burn spells. And then I just want to try to. I'm gonna take Daredevil, but I'd like to read this guy real quick. God, new cards have so much text, man. Orb Permanent is put into a graveyard, put a counter on it. The beginning of your upkeep has one or more counters, remove them. If you do, exile each non-land permanent with convert mana cost. Oh, so it's like a weird ratchet bomb. Very interesting. Okay, well, I'll take the Daredevil here. Lots of good stuff to copy in this cube, so that's just really good. I could take a Manamorphose. It is fixing. Let's see. We still need a couple more playables. Like this cycle is at the absolute worst, and it can sometimes help us through a turn. So I don't mind that. I don't think Electromancer is doing much. So yeah, I'll grab Manamorphose, sure. And Dark Dwellers doesn't do much. Light of the Stage isn't what we're looking for. I'll take Athalia to go with our Wingmare to really put the screws to Storm. Ooh, Restoration Angel. I don't know if I missed this the first time around or there was just something insane to pick over it. But you know, if you were yelling at me, you were probably right to do so. It doesn't work. It doesn't work with Splinter Twin, but it works with Kiki very nicely, and it's just a good card in general. Anyway. Okay, we have our choice of these two again. Let's see. We're basically capped out. Do I want to? You know, I'll take another 4-drop. We have the Soul Ring, so 4-drops are pretty good. Take a Lava Mance. Ooh, do I want the pod now? Is that insane? We have two 4-drops now. That could go and pick up Kiki potentially. It's probably wrong. I'll put it in the sideboard, but I don't think we're going there. And whatever, sure, take a Krark. Just waiting for our last card here. And then we can go and build this deck. I think it's turned out pretty well. I would like to have one or two things along the lines of counterspell, mana leak, that sort of thing. Just some cheap interaction that isn't burn spells, because we are going to run into lots of non-creature decks that don't care about those. And at that point, you know, our interaction is pressure in the form of stuff like Rabble Master, which is maybe not exactly where we're going to be. We have the click to mess with stuff a little bit. We have Daredevil to potentially steal their own powerful spells against them, but you know, we have Wear and Tear to maybe nab a Signet or an opposing Soul Ring, but we don't have a good catch-all stop here. Okay, so just moving these for a moment to make the math easier. This is 26 cards. Oh geez, okay, I ended up with a few more cards than anticipated. Um, let's see. So I think I like the ready well enough, but we didn't get the fixing for it, so I'm just gonna cut the ready. That makes things a little bit easier. Manamorphose is certainly on the chopping block. Like the card's fine, but it's not that amazing. And I'm probably looking to play 23 here. Soul Rings don't exactly count as land. Grim Monolith is excellent, but also not that strong in this deck. Really, it lets us cast like Mold Drifter and Time Warp ahead of schedule, and that's kind of it. So. That one's on the chopping block for sure. I like the Recruiter. I think we're going to have enough white fixing to make that work. Obviously, you know, the Kiki pieces. The Rabble Master might be a sideboard type of card. Our deck's not really that tempo oriented, so this doesn't always fit very well. Like the rest, I like the Foff, like the Chandra. This is like mediocre. I could see cutting that. The Hero I think is good. Fire Ice is good. Mold Drifter's solid. And then Time Warp, also not actually that strong. So I'm gonna cut two of these 5 cards, I think. Let's see. So Grim Monolith does let us do stuff with Kiki or Splinter Twin a little bit. Well, not really Splinter Twin because stuff doesn't have haste in that combo, but if we have like Kiki and Pestermite in hand, then if we have enough colored mana, we can use the Grim Monolith to sort of pay for the colorless mana or generic mana, as it were, and get the combo online a little bit faster. So that's like the argument for it. Manamorphose lets us potentially get white cards into play, potentially pay for Kikis or Vendilion Clicks or whatever if our mana doesn't line up. So I sort of like that. I think the Rabble Master might be the first cut. Again, I think I'm going to bring this card in potentially often. And basically, anytime I'm playing any kind of control deck, it's very good. But there's also, there's every possibility of playing this and then playing a Lightning Bolt, and you're just out a lot of material in that exchange. So I think this is a sideboard card for me. And then Pia and Kieran, again, we have the Soul Ring to try and get them out and play a little bit quicker, and they do clog up the ground pretty nicely if we need blockers, that sort of thing. Protect our planeswalkers, and just give our opponents something to be distracted while we try to assemble the combo. So it's down to these three. I think Grim and Time Warp are almost a package. That's one of the big reasons to even have Grim Monolith in the deck, is because it can cast Time Warp ahead of schedule. And then Manamorphose, pretty okay. Does also Cantrip, which is relevant. I think I cut the Monolith. Again, our curve stops at 5. We have a couple of acceleration pieces already and a lot of colored mana, so it's just not the perfect deck for it. Okay, so now bringing these lands back in, the bad lands, no reason to run those. Let's just do a quick check over everything else, and it all makes sense. The Mesa not turning out too strong here, but it's still worth running as long as we run a basic Plains, which I'll probably do. Just run one, and that'll give us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sources, which I think is plenty for, like 3.5 cards effectively. It's pretty good. Don't know why it wants a forest over the Manamorphose. Sure, sure. So we get 11 more lands. We obviously want to be pretty heavy on both blue and red. I think red even more so. We have a lot of double red cards and Kiki with a triple red. A lot of our early cards are red, so definitely want to be pretty heavy there. So if we went 5, that would be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then 11 off the Signet. That's quite good. And then blue would be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 11 and 9, is that where I want to be, or would I rather be at 10 and 10? It's always a tough question. We have the Pyromancer, that's early. So the Vendilion Click's the only like double blue early card. Force of Will doesn't really count. So I think this is okay. We have a lot more red than blue. Alright, let's do that. Sort again. And I like to take a quick screenshot of the deck as well. Boy, computer not keeping up here. Okay, well, you don't need to see me taking screenshots. It's fine. I'll do that off camera here in a moment, and see you for round number 1. Okay, here we go. We found a match. Let's jump on in, and well, wish me luck. All right, we won the die roll. Let's get start. Yep. Good luck. Have fun, opponent, and yeah, we will definitely play first. Well, we started with a Soul Ring, but not much else. I think I unfortunately have to mulligan this one. We just can't really play any of our cards. So let's go ahead and mulligan here. Oh, this isn't looking much better, but I think it has to be a keep. We at least have the Lightning Strike for early interaction, and hopefully the Manamorphose digs us into something. So I'm going to keep this, put back the Plains. Shouldn't be that one. But yeah, not a great opening. Our opponent's stuck with 7, so yep. Open on the tap land, of course. Alright, our opponent doing much the same. And I'll deploy the mountain here just to potentially strike something they play. Alright, what you got for me, opponent? Soulscar Mage? Okay, I'll definitely zap that one. They have a hideaway land. Soulscar Mage plus Sheldok Isle, interesting combination to be sure. Alright, let's just zap this. I don't think there's any reason to wait on that. But yeah, this more of a control deck card, and this definitely more of an aggressive one, but whatever. Alright, well for now, let's just deploy a second island, make him scared of a counter spell. And, we're just gonna bide our time until the opponent presents some sort of threat. Alright, going to play something. Go. What you got for me, opponent? Single white? Oh. X spell? Ooh, a Jace. Okay, well, I wish I had the Lightning Bolt now, but can you do? Alright, so there's a Jace. No reason to cycle this end of turn. It returns the mana, so we can hold on to it and just do it on our turn, depending on what we draw. Oof, another island, huh? Okay, I think, let's see. Oh, this is where that screenshot comes in handy. We're gonna want to Manamorphose here, so just taking a quick look at the deck. We're gonna, let's see, we have the white available, so we can just turn our two mountains into two more red sources, I think. Yeah, because that at least still leaves us white and double blue, so that's fine. Oh, and I meant to, let's see, maybe move this down just slightly so you guys can see the game log there. Yeah, that should be a solid spot for it. Okay, so I do feel pressure to play this Manamorphose here, and I guess I'll just do this, get 2 red back, and hope we draw 4-drop. I mean, there's just not much else I can do at this point. Okay, that's fine. Let's go ahead and deploy this, paying 1 more. And I am forced to discard here, so I'm going to discard. The Time Warp isn't actually helping us very much, so I'm going to discard that and an island. Okay, we get a Signet and a Pestermite. That's actually not bad. Obviously, it would have been nice to draw the Signet a bit earlier, but here we are. So, I mean, the opponent could easily have counter spells or instant speed removal. We have to be a little bit careful. Yeah, there's Lightning Bolt. That's fine. But if we can deploy the combo here, that would definitely be good. Next turn we go Izzet Signet plus end of turn Pestermite, and then try to just play the Kiki and win. Would be the hope. Ooh, opponent playing a Lotus Petal. Okay. Very interested to see what's going to come out of there. Are they just looking to flip Jace, maybe? Yeah, okay, that gives them the 5th card. They're still a little bit ways away from the Sheldock Isle. They can flashback the Lightning Bolt or something if they want, but it doesn't really accomplish much here. Okay, they're tapping out for, what was that? Showdown of Skalds. Exile top 4 cards of your library. Until the end of the turn, you may play those cards. And they got a PA and Cure and a Spell Secure. Okay, when you cast a spell this turn for the counter character. Okay, it's not so bad. Hopefully they'll tap out for one of these 4-drops the following turn. Okay, here we're gonna play our Needle Spires. No reason to attack Jace since they minus this. And yeah, just play the Izzet Signet and pass. And hope that we can win off the Pestermite here. Likely gonna have to play into it regardless, like if they leave up mana, but it's pretty likely to tap out for something. They only have these cards for this one turn, so it'd be strange for them to not play them, I think. Yep, that's fine. Alright, big moment of truth here, and they are going to have 1 more mana available. We can tap them down, though, with the Pestermite. Okay, that's fine, we don't care. Looks like we're pretty much in the mirror matchup here. Yeah, I am gonna have to do this end of turn, so let's just hope they don't have any kind of counter magic. Days would be pretty painful, but what can you do? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and tap their Sheldock Isle. And just hope they don't have a Force of Will or something for this guy. Alright. Hopefully they'll concede. Alright, excellent. Very, very well-mannered opponent, not making us go through the combo, but If you're not familiar with how that works, you make a Pestermite, which untaps your Kiki Juki, and then you can just make infinite Pestermites all with haste and attack your opponent. And they had Splinter Twin in their deck, so it looks like they're trying to do much the same thing. Our decks look pretty similar, in fact. That said, is there anything I'm interested in putting in to try and mess with that? I could bring in Char. It's really clunky, but it is an instant speed way to remove something. But man, that's not where I want to be exactly. I think I'm gonna stick with just the Lightning Bolt, Lightning Strike, and then the Wear Tear sometimes does the job as well. Is there anything that looks particularly bad in this kind of mirror matchup? Dire Fleet, I think, will find targets. I'm fine with that one. Click's obviously good still. Yeah, I don't think there's anything in my deck that looks awful to where I want to bring them like Char or Rabble Master or something, so I think I'm happy to just go with this. Alright, so submit our deck. Wait for opponent to do the same. Both of us now knowing what the other's up to, I expect this game might go a little more carefully, people keeping up lightning bolts and whatnot. Okay, not an incredible hand, but definitely a keepable one. We get to deploy Nahiri and start hopefully getting rid of some of these lands for some better cards. Gonna open Needle Spires. What our second land is gonna be is definitely an interesting decision here. Okay. Because I do want to play as Kiki, but I also want to make sure we have some blue mana, so I'll probably go Island second and start deploying mountains. What is this thing? Your other dwarfs get +1/+0. So whenever a dwarf becomes tapped, create a treasure token, sacrifice 5 treasures, search for an artifact or dragon, put it onto the battlefield. Wow. It's kind of scary. They're gonna get a bunch of treasures. Okay. Ooh, colonnade. Okay. Yeah, I'll still go island signet here, and then Nahiri's first order of business is probably going to be exiling this lady here. Ooh, Rabble Master too. Okay, so they're going into the pressure build here. Definitely makes our Nahiri quite a bit worse. Hopefully we found nothing but lands. That's not ideal. So I get Nahiri plus. They're gonna attack for what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 next turn. So Nahiri's not gonna survive anyway. So I think I'd rather minus, make sure it gains me some life effectively and gets rid of this thing that's generating them value. But this is obviously not what we wanted to see against our Nahiri. So let's do that. Yeah, you don't really want your 4-drop to be killing their 2-drop. That's not a great exchange. But obviously we're just a little flooded with this hand. And our opponent got a pretty aggressive start. So quite the opposite of the slower game I was predicting. Yep, there's Jace as well. Yeah, their deck a little strange with like the aggressive elements and stuff like Jace and Shelldock Isle, but it's working here, so I can't really criticize too much. We draw another land. Fantastic. So, man, we're in pretty awful shape here, no matter what. I could cast the Kiki and pray they have no removal and that I draw something relevant for it afterwards. Seems not amazing, and we still take a bunch of damage. So I think I just play my Arid Mesa and attempt to block with this Needle Spires, and if they have a Lightning Bolt or something for it, then we're just completely screwed. But that's just the situation we find ourselves in, unfortunately. Pretty likely to be losing this game. Yep, that's fine. Let's see how they attack. Maybe they'll miss the land, or most likely they just have a removal spell and we're dead. But I have to try and go for it here. Yep, they had the bolt. Alright, do I just scoop here? I guess I'll let the play turn out, but I don't think there's any combination of cards we can draw that would get us out of this, so we're at 4 health. Yeah. We could like time warp into some combination of things, but I don't really see it. But at least we know like they have a mentor now. We don't have any mass removal with both mentor and rabble master. I'd like to maybe find like a wrath or something would be good. Oh, this pester might just slightly too late here. I could I could tap the rabble master on their next turn, but then I still take lethal from the goblin, so I'd be forced to block a goblin, which then doesn't really get us anywhere. So I am just gonna concede here. Move on to the next game. Pretty unfortunate. We at least get to be on the play this time. Let's see, is there anything else that helps here? I just really don't think so. We just have to hope to draw the cards we need. I was, yeah, just got a little flooded there, and our opponent had a very aggressive start against a pretty passive hand. Now we know to expect aggression out of them as well, so maybe we can decide our mulligans a little bit better. Nice to, see the Soul Ring sometime too. Guess we saw it in game one, but it came with one land. Alright, let's submit. I would like to play first. Ugh, man. These hands are tricky. Like it's hard to say no to Fire Ice. It can deal with a lot of their threats here, but yeah, I'm gonna keep this, and we'll see if I regret that decision. We have Spire Bluff Canal for red and blue, so let's start with the Colonnade. Okay, have a 1-drop. Okay, I'm gonna let the Soulscarred Mage live this time, I think. Ooh, that's a good draw, actually. Uh, yeah, I thought they maybe are an aggressive deck last time I killed it. Now I see that it's not likely to do enough to really warrant an immediate removal. So let's just play Fumarole, take it slow here. The -1/-1 counter text isn't highly relevant, so it's really just a 1/2 with prowess. And from what I've seen from my opponent, they're not triggering prowess all that often either, so I'm just really getting hit for 1. Ooh, and they're mana screwed potentially? No, they just have a Shelldock. Okay. That's fine. Ooh, that's a good draw too. Alright, I'll just play Spire Bluff here, and then depending on what they play, I might fire off the Lightning Strike or the Fire Ice. If they play something with 1 toughness, it'd be nice to get Grim and something else. Alright, nothing pre-combat, so no Rabble Master at least. I'm definitely willing to take this damage. Okay, they're just gonna pass. Yeah, I'll cast Fire now and just deal 1 and 1. I think that's okay. Let's do that. Okay, Daredevil could potentially be good. Oh, they have a click here. Okay. Do I kill the click? I thought it'd be a Pestermite, which would have been fine, but click is a little bit worse. But if they take Lightning Bolt, I don't really care. I can, yeah, I'll just deploy Pia Kieran. If they take Pia Kieran, I'll probably kill it with the Lightning Strike, but we'll see. Obviously, very sad I didn't get to fire that along with the Lavamancer. That would have been incredible. Yeah, predictably, they take the Pia Kieran. That's fine. So here, let's see. Do I just Lightning Strike this immediately? Am I willing to take 3 damage for it? Probably not. So I guess I will just kill it here. Hopefully they don't have some Kiki shenanigans coming up. I'm going to hold on to Dire Fleet in case they play anything relevant. I don't think the 2/1's that good against the Soulscar Mage. They could easily have Burn in their hand as well, which would just make it moot. So not a lot of point there. Okay, they're just going to pass. That's fine. Chandra's not a bad draw. Let's see. So I'll have 3 mana left over. So I do worry they might have something like a Lightning Strike, so I might play Chandra, add mana, and then just play the Dire Fleet Daredevil, and now if it eats removal, then at least Chandra isn't, and it presents a blocker as well, if that's something that's relevant. So I think I'll do it that way, and then I have the Time Warp with the Chandra the following turn. That's pretty good. So yeah, let's go Chandra. And they have a counter spell, then they have a counter spell, I guess. But they did not. And yeah, I'll just play the Daredevil here to try and keep it alive. I mean, our opponent has a lot of cards in hand. They could be color screwed. I think they had white in their deck, so that's definitely a possibility. Okay, Impulse is fine. I'll, if they leave mana open, I'll probably chump block. This Dire Fleet Daredevil isn't worth much to me, and I don't want them to hit it and then follow up with Lightning Strike. The Time Warp turn is just too important, I think. Okay, Flame Slash is fine. That's not going to kill it. Ooh, unless they also have Lightning Bolt, that could be scary. Let's see. No, okay, they don't have Lightning Bolt. That's good. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana. Could be 8 mana. So I could go Recruiter of the Guard plus Time Warp, using this for mana. And then use the Exile ability. So Recruiter, again, bringing up our handy dandy screenshot here. Can go get, obviously, the Deceiver Exarch and Pester Mites of the world. Is Recruiter based on toughness or power? Can't quite remember. Toughness. So I could even go get a Vendilion Click. That would be kind of interesting. I think that's a strong turn. Let's go ahead and do that. I'll find a solid target for it. This can go get me another red land, probably. Actually, no, white land, so I can activate Colonnade. Makes sense. And I'll try to resolve the Time Warp first, I think. So let's go mana, play Time Warp, choose me, 2, 2, 3. Play Recruiter of the Guard. And let's consider our options here. So I can get Click to try and mess with their hand. Oh, I could get something like Muldrifter. That could be really powerful here. Pia and Kieran Nalaar are fine as well. Let's see, I think I'll just pick up Muldrifter here and go for extra cards. That actually seems fine. Okay, draw land. Not a very good one though. Let's just hard cast this. 1, 2, 3. And I'll keep up a red blue or a white blue. I think a white blue since Chandra can make more red. Draw my 2 cards. Okay, 2 mountains. Not precisely what I was looking for. I guess I'll do this. So you may cast that card. If you don't, okay, it's a cast, right? So I'll play the land first and then try this. Ooh, that's unfortunate. Didn't want to see that one in our exile zone, but that's okay. Obviously not attacking here, just looking to block any potential shenanigans. There are Sheldock Isles coming in soon, which is concerning. So Chandra max at 7 with a pretty strong emblem, but that's probably not going to happen for a bit. Flametongue Kavu, sure, go nuts. And here I probably let Chandra take this so we can block the Flametongue with the Recruiter. If they have a bolt, they have a bolt, but they didn't have it last time, so not that worried about it. Okay. What do we got? Okay, well, it'd be nice to draw something other than lands at some point in this game. For now, I guess I just plus Chandra again. Yeah, let's look for something relevant. Okay, I can Splinter Twin my Recruiter of the Guard. It's not amazing, but it does do something, so I guess it's fine. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. It won't leave me enough mana to activate a Fumarole, but I can make a new Recruiter in order to block with it. And then maybe even pick up something like, I guess not the Pestermite anymore, but something that taps something would be good. Alright, Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, I'm not expecting to have a removal spell here. Oh, unless it's under the Shelldock, I guess. Oof. Okay, well, that's a problem. At least their Shelldock card wasn't that good in the end, but now our Chandra's gonna die, and we're in quite a bit of trouble here, so... let's see, I can't activate this regardless. Let's just play Needle Spires and pass here. Probably losing this from here. Our opponent still has 2 cards in hand. And yeah, our Chandra's gonna die. We need something like a Fact or Fiction to get out of this, I think. Sure. Not gonna bluff anything here too much. Okay, they're just passing. Okay, Nahiri sort of does stuff. So we can try to exile this Flame Tongue, and then this will be a 2, so we can try and block with like Fumarole. I have enough mana for that, so that's effectively 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if I play the Mountain, I have enough for all of that. So let's go Mountain, Nahiri. And they want to counter Nahiri. There's not much I can do about that. Commit, huh? Okay. Commit's fine. So we'll be drawing that in a minute, and in the meantime, I do have some land blockers at least, so I can activate either Needle Spires or Fumarole here. So depending on how our opponent attacks and stuff, I'll figure out exactly what I want to do. The Ponder's scary. It's a good card to have right now. They could even Memory at some point, I guess, but I think that helps me given that I have the land advantage. Oh man. Tough game, tough game. And we know they have a Kiki combo waiting in their deck somewhere. Rabble Master, okay, that's fine. Let's see how they attack here. Okay, well, we're gonna try this. If they have it, they have it. But, you know, at least get another card out of their hand if they do. Yeah, of course. Okay. Alright, that makes things harder. We're down to 4 as well. Oof. Under Wear and Tear. That's not very good. So I can block and take 4, 5, 6, 7, and then draw Nahiri and be dead. Alright, so it looks like we lost this one. That's really unfortunate. I think we had, you know, pretty... I mean, I guess it was a sort of even matchup. We're kind of doing the same thing. They're on the more aggressive version here, clearly. I feel like we got flooded pretty hard, though. This game went a while, so... Well, that's okay. You can't win them all. We'll concede here and move on to the next round. So I'll see you then. Okay, looks like our second match is here, so let's jump in and see what we can do. Oh, why are you here? All right. Looks like we lost the die roll this time around. That's okay. Hopefully we can draw a good hand. You know, this isn't bad. This isn't bad. It's not incredible, but we'll definitely keep it. Signet into maybe Pestermite or Moldrifter, some Lightning Strike interaction. Should be okay. Ooh, could be bad against Thoughtseize potentially, but luckily that's not what we're seeing. Okay. If our opponent plays some sort of artifact, there'll be an interesting decision on to whether I should play my own Signet or destroy theirs. Let's see what we're up to here. Collective Brutality, getting rid of an instant or sorcery. Okay, sure. Maybe some sort of Reanimator deck, although... Wait, did they escalate it? They didn't escalate it, so... Well, I mean, they could still be a Reanimator deck and just not have a reanimation target in their hand. Clearly they're not worried about Lightning Strike there. Okay, I'll play Vantage, even though that gives them the information, that's fine. Play my Signet here and pass. And we'll probably try to hardcast this on turn 4, and in the meantime, just like Pestermite them in upkeep or something. But of course, depends on what they do here. Okay, we're just passing, sure. Draw Mesa, it's not very good. Play this mountain and just pass. Yeah, I think I'll upkeep, just tap their swamp. They have a removal spell for this Pestermite, it's not the end of the world, I think. Oh, they have their own. Oh, they have an opposition agent. Okay, so don't search my library. So this mace is dead for the moment. That's fine. Still going to... I could lightning strike that, I guess, but I think for now I'm happy to just do this. We have another land drop. So, 2, 3, and we'll just tap their swamp. Hopefully they can't cast spells because of it. See. Yep. Okay. Take off and stop and move on. And even though I'm not too worried about them removing the Pestermite, I'm still not looking to trade necessarily. But maybe this stops them from attacking anyway. White mana, okay. Oh, Banishing Light, sure. That's fine. Yeah, our opponent's down to 1 card. I'm really not too worried here. We obviously, with the Pestermite gone, it's going to be harder to get any kind of combo win going, but we should just be able to drown them out in card advantage here, as we even draw a Sol Ring. That's pretty nice. So I get to keep up a single mana. We have just Lightning Bolt, so I should keep up a red, I guess. Alright, so let's go Sol Ring. And then cast this Mole Drifter. I guess I can keep up the Boomerol here. And this I will trade with the opposition agent pretty gladly. Okay, it's fine. Go ahead and pass. But a little constrained on mana, it looks like. Oh, they're attacking? Sure. Let's trade. Ooh, Factor Fiction's a nice one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 8 mana, so I can Pia and Factor Fiction. Fantastic news. I don't think I have anything that cares about shuffle effects. Once again, looking to our screenshot here. I don't have anything that like puts cards on top or anything. So I can use this to thin before I Factor Fiction. With drawing that many cards, it can actually matter a little bit. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 red already, so let's go get our planes, I guess. Then cast this 1, 2, 3, and 4. That'll provide a little bit of pressure, and then we can Factor Fiction on their turn to draw a bunch of cards as well. And in the meantime, we have this Lightning Strike if they play anything that we need to Lightning Strike. So, as well as Pia and Kiran Nalaar activations, if that's a thing we want to do. And if they have more removal, then I just really don't care. Yeah, Vindicate, sure. It's just not going to get them anywhere. Okay, cast Factor Fiction. Instantly resolves, very nice. We'll be taking the Nahiri here pretty much regardless. I think even if it's a 4-1 split. But especially if Nahiri comes with any other cards, I'm definitely taking it. Yeah. Okay, great. And this gave me exile enchantments, right? So I could get rid of their Banishing Light here, which isn't bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 or 9 mana. No reason to have 9 this turn, so I can play my tap land. I guess it could let me attack with the Fumarole, maybe? I don't need these needle spires out there, right? So, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I guess that's fine. So let's play an island, play Nahiri. 1, 2, 3, 4. And just in case they have removal for it, I think I'll just get my value right away here. Um, and get rid of Banishing Light. It's fine. I guess I get to untap or tap something as well if I want to. Okay, they're just going to concede. That's fine. All right, so they're playing some sort of removal-based deck. It's exactly why I didn't want Rabblemaster in my main deck. They just get to kill it and we're in trouble. So I think our current setup's okay against this. The sword doesn't look good. Nothing of this looks good. Basically, what we don't want is cards that, if they remove them on their turn, are bad for us. So like this generates tokens, that's fine. Obviously all the combo pieces we need, stuff that searches stuff is good. This like interacts, that's good. Yeah, I think I'm happy with what we have here, so let's go ahead and submit. Okay, here's our opening hand. Looks okay. If they can destroy this signet or get rid of it somehow, we do run into a little bit of trouble in terms of red mana, but I think it's still a pretty keepable hand. We can force something if we absolutely have to. So if they are playing some kind of crazy reanimation, that's a thing we can do. All right, like them passing. Okay, there's the mountain too, so now we're in pretty good shape regardless. Let's see what they do. Okay, are we getting hit by the, the name of the card escapes me. That same card they played last turn, 2-drop. Yeah, Collective Brutality. Okay, well, there's no point forcing that. That'll cost me 2 cards, so I'll just let them take the force if they'd like, or they can take something else. It's all fine with me. It's pretty tough, tough hand. I think what they take will be somewhat telling. Yeah, they take the Wear and Tear again. I guess they have a lot of like Soul Ring, or not Soul Ring, Banishing Light type removal, it looks like, so. I'm gonna hold this mountain in case they have some land destruction too, like they had a Vindicate, so they could easily have something for that mountain. Play my Izzet Signet here, and pass. I'm not that worried about sorcery speed removal. We can hold our combo pieces until we need to deploy them, and everything else generates value when we play it, so it doesn't matter too much. Okay. So I'll play the mountain now, and I'll probably ice them on upkeep just to cycle through a card here. It seems fine. So let's tap that. Especially since they're having mana issues as well. That'll could potentially slow them down if they draw on their land here. Okay, draw tap land. It's not incredible. Okay, they got nothing. That's fine. We're not getting anything either. I'm not going to blow off this Time Warp. I'm just going to hold up my Hardcast Force of Will. If they deploy anything that I care about, I can force it. Though it looks like they might be in some mana trouble here. Bitter Blossom? I really want to counter a Bitter Blossom. I'd hope we can beat a Bitter Blossom, but this hand's pretty slow. Maybe I have to force that. Doesn't feel great, but you know what? They're not doing anything else. Let's just do it. Soul Ring, okay, sure. Yeah, let's just play our Soul Ring. Yeah, this hand, not Not doing great right now. We need to find some card draw or something that actually does something with the Time Warp would be nice. Okay, they're on 3 mana finally. But, you know, their deck looks like it's full of removal, so not that worried. Okay, Splinter Twin is fine. I don't want to animate any of these lands because they'll likely just remove them, though I guess I could start getting there for the funeral. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana. So if they kill this, it's not the end of the world. It does, I guess it kills our third red source for a potential Kiki. Yeah, I'm just not gonna even bother with attacking here unless they tap out. Just hold up Lightning Strike for now. See if they have anything. Okay, Opposition Agent. Do I just kill that immediately? Yeah, I guess that's fine. They didn't show me too many targets, so let's just kill it. Alright, so next turn we probably have to Time Warp if we don't draw anything. Okay, Chrome Mox, sure. Do they have a 4-drop? Okay, get rid of Mana Tithe, sure. They're gonna Banishing Light my Soul Ring or something? That's perfectly fine. You got it. Okay, Nahiri's good. I'm gonna try to play Nahiri and actually hit their Chrome Mox, attack their mana a little bit here. Sure. 2, 3, and 4 is fine. Yeah, I don't care about my Soul Ring. I'd rather make sure they have less mana to work with. And now the Time Warp starts to do stuff, which is nice. They might just kill Nahiri here, but that's fine. It's a solid 2-for-1 if they do. Lingering Souls. Okay, that's annoying. Definitely annoying. Alright, let's draw. We get a Manamorphose. So I could play that or I can just discard it with Nahiri. I guess playing it's better. I could discard the next card down. So let's see. Do I want to make a white mana potentially? Sure. So let's go 1, 2, and I'll make a red and a white maybe. Although I'm probably just casting Time Warp here, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, draw a mountain, so it's Nahiri plus, get rid of the mountain. Yes, discard this. We draw another mountain, so we'll hold that for next turn. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I don't have that much mana left. So yeah, let's just cast this Time Warp. 1, 2. Use the Signet maybe. All right. And I'm not going to play this because I might want to discard it to Nahiri here. Let's draw. We draw Kiki. I mean, that's decent. We need to obviously find something that interacts with it. Yeah, I think I just continue plussing here rather than getting our Soul Ring back. That makes a lot of sense to me. Get rid of that. Draw another land. Now this one does generate white, which could be important for this colonnade in the future. So I'm sort of tempted to actually play this one. Yeah, I think that's okay. And then I will attack with the Fumarole. Might as well. It can block, and they can't really block it very effectively, so it's fine. Flip it here, deal them 4 damage. Okay. Draw land, it's not great. Yeah, they had a removal. That's unfortunate. Makes me glad I played land, though, I think. Alright. I'm really glad I countered that Bitter Blossom, too. I think that would have been pretty dangerous. That had been around this entire time. Alright. Let's draw something good. That counts. That counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I can't unfortunately use it um and attack here, so we'll just play it. Yeah, that's fine. Technically shouldn't be tapping this much red, but it's all good. Okay, so this gives us some blockers and slows the game down some more, which is all we really want. Okay, our opponent hitting their lands now, so we'll see what that means for us. Okay, Flashback Lingering Souls is okay. I'll definitely block here if they attack. Just rather preserve my life total and get rid of these spirits. Okay. It's fine. They are keeping up mana now, which is scary. Man, these lands are just wrecking me here. So I could attack with a Colonnade. I'm a little afraid of attacking with this when they have so much mana available, so I maybe rather attack with the Ephemeral, which is a little less valuable. Definitely not going to do any like Splinter Twin nonsense, although if they tap out, I might put Splinter Twin on this just to generate some tokens. But for now, let's do this. And just attack them. And if they want to double block, I'm totally okay with that as well. Again, they have so much removal, this is likely to die at some point anyway. Yeah, they had something. I thought they might have like a swords. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, I'll use the ability and get... I think a mountain is good. Okay, so now maybe the colony can start getting in. They're sort of working down their life total a bit here too. It's not nothing. Though I'm a little afraid of what they're going to get up to with all this mana. I mean, their deck looks like it's a lot of cheap cards so far, but still. Oh, okay. Not playing anything is okay by me. Okay. Play nothing, attack with nothing. Oh, Recruiter of the Guard's a nice pickup. So now I can go get Pestermite or whatever and try to win at that point the following turn. So I'll do that. Let's attack first. I mean, they know something's up because I'm not attacking the Colonnade, right? But whatever. Might as well work their life total down here a little bit. Sure. Fine with that. If it comes down to Colonnade, now they're out some blockers at least. And yeah, we'll go for Recruiter. 1, 2, 3. And just go get a combo piece. Okay. Yes. And I was gonna say I might want to get Exarch instead, just because it's a little tougher. It might survive something that the other one wouldn't, but of course I can't do that here, so I guess we'll just pick up the Pestermite. I'm just trying to see if that Direfleet Daredevil maybe does something. I could like Vindicate, that's not really that good. So yeah, we'll just pick up Pestermite, pass the turn here, and see what they have. Okay. And there's not really a lot I can do to protect this. Our Force of Will is gone, so I'm probably just going to play it. Oh, they're actually tapping out for something? Or are they just faking me out, maybe? Playing the mind games. I'm gonna play this. If they kill it, they kill it. I'll just duplicate the recruiter in that case. 3, go. And they have plenty of white and black mana, so I guess I'll tap their island just in case they have some sort of weird counterspell type shenanigans going here. Okay, yes. And let's see. Lightning Bolt, not really what I'm looking for. Let's see. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I have 5. So actually, I can actually try to do both here, though I can't do it all at instant speed anyways. So let's just go Splendor Twin first, I think. That's the less valuable one here. Try not to tap too much red. 1 and 2. If they remove it in response, then we can Kiki the Recruiter. That does something pretty okay for us. It's like unexpectedly absent, maybe. Yeah, unexpectedly absent for 1. Okay. Do I want to Kiki here? I don't want to give them a chance to remove Kiki, so I'm not going to do it here. Just attack. Let's have our Lightning Bolt. And that the thing is coming back, so. Okay, to Fairy. Sure. Depending on what they do, I might have to Kiki and like attack the Fairy here. If they're gonna draw, that's fine. I guess I can attack the Fairy with the Colonnade as well. It might be the way to go. Let's see. Do I want to bolt it? I can just bolt it on my turn, I guess, right? This isn't the Fairy that stops me from casting spells or whatever, so that's fine. Just let that go. We'll attack it with the Colonnade and hope that's good enough. Oh, click's interesting. Can I do click and other stuff in time here? Colonnade's effectively 6 mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I should be able to click them, make sure the coast is clear, and then attack the Fairy with the Colonnade. Yeah, looks like the math checks out on that. 2, 3, right? Just like triple checking the math here. 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so let's click them, make sure they don't have an instant speed removal. We have an Elspeth and an Ugin. Interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. Elspeth doesn't matter in the slightest. Does Ugin matter? I'm drawing my Pestermite the following turn. So let's say they play Ugin next turn. They like deal 3 damage to something. Who cares? I draw my Pestermite. Yeah, I think I don't put anything on the bottom here. Let me activate. And just killed the Fairy here. Maybe I should even attack my opponent, who knows. But the tuck from the Fairy's pretty annoying, so. Okay, Looks like this isn't Ugin, which is fine. So the following turn, I'll be playing my Pestermite Metamorph. That's annoying. Although I might be able to just kill them. If their play is Metamorph plus Elspeth, I'm going to draw the Pestermite if they get rid of the Kiki. So then I can tap this, attack them for a pretty big number, and maybe bolt them as well. I think I have exactly enough mana to do everything here. We'll see. Alright, they have a ground blocker, but that doesn't matter. Okay, let's see. Okay, drawing an island has to help here. So, yeah, I activate Colonnade. Um, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, this is totally fine. Then we'll play Pestermite. And just tap the click here. Okay. All right. They saw the writing on the wall, and we win that match. So 1-1. I'll see you for the next round to see if we come out positive in this one. All right, we get into a match. Let's go and see how it turns out. This thing keeps popping up every time. Fantastic. Looks like we lost a die roll there. Okay. This is a tough hand. If I knew the matchup, it would be an easy decision on whether it's fast enough or not. As is, our first turn or our first play rather is a turn 3 either Seasoned Pyromancer or Mole Drifter, and like if this was if one of these was a Pestermite, then I'd be tempted to keep it. As is, I think it's just a little bit too slow. I think we can do better. Let's mulligan, especially on the draw. Oof. This might be even worse. Let's see. Fact or fiction. I really hate going down to 5 cards. Cube is still limited and cards do matter. Oh man. This is just so weak though. We can't even play this Pyromancer. Yeah, let's just go to 5. Okay, we got a Soul Ring, so I'm definitely keeping this. I don't know what I'm doing with it yet. We still can't cast like half our cards, so that part's not ideal, but it is what it is. I guess I'll put back like Wear and Tear and Pyromancer and hope to power one of these guys out through the Soul Ring. That's the best I'm gonna do. At least we're on the draw, which is good in this case, but obviously mulliganing to 5 is not where you want to be. This isn't like an incredible hand even with it, though the Soul Ring does go a long way. Okay, our opponent opening on Mana Vault, not quite as good as the Soul Ring, but still strong. And yeah, I went with advantage first there, especially now within the Nahiri draw as well, though if we draw an island, I would obviously have rather played the island, but can you do? Okay, our opponent potentially on 4 mana here, could do something scary if they'd like to. Let's see what they got. Hopefully we draw a mountain. They are doing something. Chalice, and tapping the Chalice for Grim Monolith. Okay. Our opponent is doing stuff, and we are not. So we're probably losing this one. The Nahiri would have been awesome here to just kill their Everflowing Chalice. As is, I hope whatever they can play can be killed by a lightning bolt, but that seems unlikely to me. Don't think we have any extra artifact hate in the sideboard. Let's see, view sideboard. Yeah, I can make him sacrifice an artifact. It's not quite as good. Oof. All right, what is this 4-drop? There's some stuff that's not so bad here. Urza's not one of them, or Urza is bad. Something like a Jace and they like brainstorm, we can bolt it, would have been great. This is pretty terrifying. Okay, let's see what we draw. Draw an island. It's not exactly what we're looking for, but I guess I'll click them here just to kind of see what's up. And we'll leave up the red, just in case we need that. Yeah, with an Urza in play, though, it's going to be tough to really do much here. We have a Control Magic, a Zealous Conscripts, and a Tezzeret. Good lord. This is all bad. I think the Tezzeret might be the scariest thing. It just unlocks all these artifacts for them. If they steal my click, like, fine. If they conscripts my click, also, I guess, fine. None of this is good. We're probably pretty dead here. But, you know, our opponent had an incredible draw and we multiply, so what can you do? Sometimes that's just the way the cookie crumbles. Uh, if they attack with the Urza and don't control magic, I'll definitely block and try to finish the Urza off. That would be pretty helpful. Okay, so they play their mountain. They could just conscripts me here, though. That would make a lot of sense. I probably have to just bolt the conscripts. Yeah, they don't really have anything else coming that's like that relevant here, so let's just kill that, take a little bit less damage, and potentially prevent any kind of Splinter Twin stuff they might have. Okay, Metamorphose does something. I can now play Nahiri. Let's see. So they got rid of the conscript, so all they have left is the control magic, which, you know, isn't ideal, but fine. So I think Nahiri exiling Urza is probably the play I have to make. And then that will, yeah, that'll cut off their supply of Urza, basically. They can still control magic this and like kill the Nahiri, and we're still in like a fantastic spot, but it's better. So yeah, let's do that. We'll go red-white here. Drawing an island, not really what we're looking for either, but I think I still play it. Since the Nahiri is the only way to like discard them, and she's not gonna be sticking around. And then, yeah, let's just exile the Urza here. And even though they're like extremely likely just control magic this, I think I still keep it back to at least force them into that play. That way, if they draw something else they want to do, I have the option of chum blocking. So we could stabilize from here. If they don't draw great, we have the PA and Kieran Nalaar to like stem the bleeding a bit. Then we just need to draw some reasonable cards. Obviously, need to draw a red source to play them, but you know, can't do much about that. Okay, so our opponent's down to 2 unknowns. We draw a Restoration Angel. Okay, it's not incredible, but we can block the Vendilion Click with it at least. That's not good. Oh, they're just tagging with the Femoral. Okay, that's not great either, but it's kind of fine. Resto Angel. And block there. Of course, take 8. So we're still dying currently. Okay, now we're not dying anymore. Um, so that's something. We're in bad shape, but we've managed to stabilize a little bit. If our opponent doesn't have too much action coming up, then I think there's a chance for this game. Okay, that doesn't really count as action, though it does make the construct bigger. So any kind of multi-block there looks a little bit worse. I do have to decide if they attack with this, whether I want to try and do some sort of big block or a chump. Okay, it looks like they're just gonna play some enormous card that will make that. Oof. 6 to both of those, huh? Okay, well, that makes my decision for me. So, obviously block. Alright, anything? Nope. Okay, so we're dead. Alright, so our opponent's playing a big mana artifact deck. Unfortunately, we don't have more artifact removal in the sideboard. Right, this stuff does it. I mean, Duretti does, but man, it's hard to get Duretti into the deck. All right, and the Angrass Rampage too. I mean, I could bring both of these in. What would that? I'd have to play the Badlands, obviously, which I can get with the Mesa, so that's sort of a free source there. I'd have to play at least a Swamp, possibly two, and I just don't think the deck can handle that. Our mana is already stretched pretty thin here, so we're just gonna have to rely on this one wear and tear we have and sort of hope for the best. Didn't see a ton for the Daredevil. I could see citing that out for something, but not really sure what would be great here, so I think I'll just keep it as is and hope for the best. Definitely play first. Okay, well, once again, we have a Soul Ring with a single land. Fantastic. And we can't even play it on turn 1, which is pretty awkward. So, turn 1 Colonnade, turn 2 if we don't draw land, it's Soul Ring, and then if they destroy the Soul Ring, we just lose immediately. If they don't, we get to go like Pestermite. Eh, I have to mulligan, it's rough, but okay. Yeah, I mean I keep this. It's still bad. All these lightning strikes don't really do anything against them. I'm gonna get rid of one of them, I think. Potentially the Pia and Kieran. I think I'm gonna need this. I'll just get rid of the worst of the lightning strikes. But these opening hands have not been good. Soul Ring keeps coming up with hands where you can't do anything, and it's not great. Wow, they have a workshop. Okay, well, sometimes this happens in Magic the Gathering, and you just have to accept your losses. It's part of the game. Though we have this recruiter, like we have the Splinter Twin combo ready to go here almost. We just need to draw land, so maybe there's a chance still. We'll see. Please, this is like a metal worker. God, 5 mana. What is this? Grand Dynamo. Okay, they're going off. Okay, I mean they have a lot of mana. I can't do anything about that. Ah, God. All right. Well, we'll go recruiter. Pick up a Pestermite for sure. And then we Pestermite, and then try to Splinter Twin the turn after, and hope that's good enough. It probably won't be, if I had to guess. Frost Titan. Okay, that's bad. They can tap us out of blue, and we're just, man, losing after all that to just being land screwed. It doesn't feel great. Memory jar. Okay, sure. Yeah, yeah. I don't see us winning from here, but like, what am I gonna do? It's a bit of a sour note to go out on, just getting some pretty bad hands here. Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and chump block here, just because they can cut that option off later, so this recruiter's not doing anything for me. So now we have to draw a blue source into another land. It's the only way we win this game. That's not a blue source. Well, they don't know that. Maybe they'll tap it. Seems unlikely, though. Yep. Oh, they're gonna let me draw a new hand. Okay. Think that, I mean, I can't do anything about it, so sure. Well, that isn't really helpful, but this is a lot of things that aren't islands, so I mean, that's something. Oh, they do get the shell dock now, I guess. So this could just kill us. Who knows? Good lord, what is this? Wow. What kind of artifact is this? Oh, it's an upheaval. Oh lord. Okay. I think I've seen enough. That's gonna do it. Um, yeah, that was a rough one. Our last opponent's deck looked pretty cool. Unfortunate that we couldn't compete very well with it. So that's gonna be it. There'll be plenty more to come, hopefully with some more victories as well. But for now, thank you for watching, and I'll see you for the next one.